All right, Shalom. I'll start first by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Call Halal Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, the house of David, and also those that help forward the truth. Shalom. I got asked a question, actually a couple of questions. This one will be the first answer that I gave. It was about the word. A woman asked me, what does shamefaced mean? And here's the definition. And it's shamefaced. It says feeling or expressing shame or embarrassment. All the boys looked shamefaced. It says ashamed, synonyms, right? Ashamed, abashed, sheepish, guilty, conscience-stricken, guilt-ridden, contrite, sorry, remorseful, repentant, penitent, regretful, rueful, apologetic, embarrassed, mortified, red-faced, cringed, humiliated, and formal with one's tail between one's legs. Guys look shamefaced. You know, and this was basically, it was a woman asking me, about being shamefaced, right? And so, of course, I gave her 1 Timothy chapter 2. Let me see where, and this was the scripture. It goes, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety. Right, that word shamefaced right there was the key word in that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to out of that. Let me see if I should have it up in here somewhere. I can bring it up. Yeah, right here. The blueletterbible.org. Because the thing about it is, a lot of women don't want to own up to what they've done, you know. But hey, it is what it is, man. The Most High set it up this way, right? And this is the same script I just read. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Now we're gonna go into this word G127, eidos. I believe that's eidos. Let me see. Get a little closer to it. Bring it in a little bit. And the definition is a sense of shame or honor, modesty, bashfulness, reverence. Means the respect, right? It said regarding for others, reverence, regard for others, respect. Bashfulness, that was in the other definition. Modesty, or it says awe, reverence, shamefacedness. Right? Adose. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Well, let me do it.
Strong's G127. Eidos.
Yeah, so that's the word eidos. Yeah, that's the point right there. So let me go out of here. But see, what do women have to be shamefaced about? Well, let's go all the way back to the beginning. In Genesis, we're going to start the 3rd chapter. This is the first thing that you have to be shamefaced about. You know? I'm going to read through it for interest of time. It says, Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast in the field which the Lord thy power, Yahweh, had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, had the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? It says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. She shouldn't even be talking to her. The first thing is, she shouldn't even be talking to the serpent right now. Adam, in the 2nd chapter of Genesis, Adam already told her, don't touch that. And yes, whether you guys want to believe it or not, they are under the law. But it's an oral law back then. It wasn't written. Anyway, that's another tale for another day. Another lesson for another day. It says, but yeah, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna start at 3 again. It says, but the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For the Most High do know that in the day that ye eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Which was true, but he lied about the dying part, that we did begin to die after that. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband Adam with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them were both opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. Verse 8, and they heard the voice of the Lord Yahweh, power walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord Yahweh amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord Yahweh called upon unto Adam, and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou should not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord Yahweh said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Yeah, because it was true. They both were guilty, because Adam shouldn't have ate just because Eve was giving it to him. And Eve shouldn't have ate just because the serpent beguiled her in that. We're going to jump up to 16. Yeah, it says, unto the woman he said, I greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Yep. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Yeah, so now we in turmoil because of that. And let me go from there. Matter of fact, we're gonna go back we're gonna go right back into the book of Timothy, 1 Timothy, the 2nd chapter. Now, yeah, Adam, 1 Timothy 2, and I'm going to start at 13. For Adam was first formed, then, matter of fact, verse 12. But I suffered not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. And that's what it repeated in Genesis. The desire should be to thy husband. It says, verse 13, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Right? So we're going to go from there. We're going to go into, let's see if I can get into it nice and easy. Yeah. We're going to go into, we're going to start down. Yeah. Yeah, verse 24. This is Sirach 25 and 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So that's what you women have to be shamefaced about, because you're the one that started all of this. Everybody was doing their thing, but you guys went off and listened to the serpent and got beguiled and created sin at that moment. And it started by even entertaining what the serpent was saying. Now I'm going to go back up, because there's more to this more meat on this bone. That was the point to connect to that, but there's more meat on the bone of what you women should be shamefaced about, right? Verse 13, Sirach 25:13 says, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Yet this woman is wicked, man, by nature. You know, she's the weaker vessel. She needs guidance from a godly man. You know, it says, and any affliction but the affliction from them that hate me. Yeah, and any revenge but the revenge of mine enemies. And then it say that Micah 7:10 is she that is mine enemy. Yeah, this is all. I'm gonna go right to it right quick. Yeah, because you guys have a lot to be shamefaced about. But in 2017, what is it that you women are the most proud creatures on the planet? The most undeservingly proud creatures. You guys have nothing to be proud about. You created all this chaos and you like it to have it so. You like the enemy ruling over our nation. You don't want to go through the things that the Most High is talking about. You know, here it go right here, Micah 7:10. Matter of fact, and don't get me wrong, men were weak, just as weak. We were as men were just as weak, because we should have never listened to you. But you started it, bringing us that BS that the serpent threw at you. Verse 10, Micah 7:10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which shamefaced it, right? And shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, now she shall be trodden down as the mire in the streets. That's what's going to happen to you women, man. You know, that's what's going to happen to you guys, you girls, you know. That's what's going to happen to you, because you guys are the creator of sin, because you guys are not humble. You're the most proud, especially the N-Dub, man. So-called black women, that being the head tribe, you're supposed to be setting a standard for all the rest of the 11 tribes on the way that they should be acting. But no, you're the most proud. The Most High that took your hair and everything else, and you still the most proud. I'm gonna read. Jump down. This is back in Sirach 25:17. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth, changes it forever. It says it's like stained upon a woman, right? It said her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly, because he's like, damn, gotta deal with this old battle axe or what, ball and chain. That's the things that these Jake men talk about you women with, and frustration and bitterness. So all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And we're all sinners, so we deal with you women. But us trying to get out of it and trying to be righteous unto the Most High God, Yahweh, you women still try to afflict us. It says stumble, let me just read up. Verse 20, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged is difficult, so is the wife full of words to a quiet man. A man that's in contemplation and thought, they make that man holler, scream, and cuss, and argue. It's 21 says, stumble not, and this is where men go off all the time. It's a warning. It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. But that's exactly what you women push. You push to be beautiful. You push to be desired for pleasure. Look right on Instagram. That's what they all about. So the woman, if she maintain her husband, now didn't we read in Genesis her desires to be to her husband? Yeah, to what her husband wants. Said a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. And when it says maintain, it's talking about tries to control him. She's full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. A wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh an heavy countenance and a wounded heart. And we as men, man, we know this far too well. It said a woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees, unable to be effective in the things of the world, and especially in righteousness. She's gonna make sure he's broken. Women play the game, man. These women play the game. The game to them is to see if they can break a man. That's what it seems of an Israelite woman. Her job is to break an Israelite man, to get that advantage over him. You know, like I'm gonna continue pushing this out. I just want to be able to hold a conversation with a woman and feel like I'm not trying to, like nobody's trying to take advantage of the other one. You know, like I'm not trying to get something from her that she don't know that I want. Like, you know, I want sex, but I want to have a real connection with you, and I shouldn't feel you trying to get me for the little money I got or whatever the case may be. You know, just really sit down and have a real connection. But that's gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven. You know, it says, read 24 again. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Yep. And I'm going to stop it right there because there's, you know, it's more instruction on how to deal with that. Here we go, 26th chapter. Yep. Let me see. I'm going to jump down. This is the good things in here. I'll bring that out in the other video. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna Sirach 26:5. It said, there be three things that mine heart feareth, and for the fourth I was sore afraid. The slander of a city, when everybody slanders you, says, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, they rise up against you, and a false accusation, somebody lie on you. All these are worse than death. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman. And a scourge of the tongue which communicated withal. So an evil yoke is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. Yeah, it's going to bite you, poison you, and kill you. You know? Verse 10, I'm going to jump down to 10. It says, if a daughter be shameless, and a woman also, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. This is another thing with shame. It says, she will open her mouth. No. Verse 11. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee, because they're likely to trespass against you, to go out and cheat on you, to do something you told them not to do. It's just don't even be like it's something new that happened. This is what they do. Verse 12, it says, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. She will, same thing she did with the serpent. That's exactly what she did with the serpent. Anything the serpent was spitting out, she was soaking it up, right? To her own destruction. It says, by every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. And that quiver is symbolic to her vagina, man. And every arrow is symbolic to a penis. Yep. And it goes into good things. I'm going to jump down to some more of the bad, because this is why you women should be shamefaced. You know, there's a reason for that. Verse 22. Because most of you women are harlots out here. You're not with the original man that you first laid with. It says, and harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. She's connected to him. She's really out for his well-being. 24. A dishonest woman contempteth shame. Is that word shame again, right? Said, but an honest woman will reverence her husband, will respect her husband, right? 25, here's a main one. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. What's a female dog? It's a bitch. And these women are so shameless, they call each other bitch all day. But they'll snap if a man call them a bitch, because it sounds so much truer when it's a man. But they accept it themselves being a bitch when it's another woman saying it. It's all good. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Yep. 26, and it says, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Yeah, man. You guys got a lot of pride, man. You guys are on top. You guys went out there and marched against Donald Trump for women's rights, and where don't you have equal rights? You guys have the most rights on the planet.